Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are about to start round number 5 of our Misty Mountain Spring Cup here at Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Michael Heup. I'm joined by Brian Kowal, owner of Misty Mountain Games, and we have a classic, fun matchup. Everyone should be excited. I don't know.
If you think about if you ask somebody to pick two decks to watch pre-modern, they pick these two, right? Every time.
Probably. So we did see Peter on a previous round. Up against Growatog. Things didn't go quite his way. He still has a chance of making top 8. And I don't know if it's a guaranteed win in or if it's like a win in, because there were a lot of people at 9 points.
But they're both at 9 points, so 12 is going to get in for sure.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is a win in.
Okay. And I'll let our players know that they can get started.
Yeah, anyway, Goblins and Rock, it's just the household names of pre-modern. They're never not in the top 5 decks, you know. One of them was even in the $5 row. The other one didn't quite make it, though, did it, Mike?
No. But did you pick the Rock? So you're complaining about it.
I wanted to. My heart wanted to. I was afraid no one was going to be playing it.
So let me just be clear. You're complaining it was in the discount bin, and you didn't even pick it up.
That feels pretty stupid now.
All right, what do we look to see in this matchup? I mean, so anytime you play the Goblins deck, Goblin Lackey is a very key card. The ability for it to come down really will change the game. Though the Rock is set up, especially if the Rock is on the play, it has a lot of cards to interact. Like there's walls and removal spells.
For sure. And this particular Rock deck has lots of answers to Lackey.
Okay.
Right? Like, doesn't have at least 2 or 3
some vendettas, but
vendettas.
2 mana spells. There's more because there's like a smother and some diabolic edicts. But yes. So I would anticipate like vendetta could be like a really key card here. I don't know who's on the play here. We will see. So our players are getting started.
Looks like John Mulligan.
I think in general, the Rock is maybe slightly favored, but I don't even know that's true. This is pretty close to like a 50-50 matchup.
With you, Kevin, it's crazy. All right, it looks like Peter's going first. He's going to play a Cycling Land.
I think
it looks like a Tranquil Thickets.
Okay.
And we have, turn 1, Skirk Prospector.
Okay, I mean, it's no Goblin Lackey, but...
Favorite Goblin of the booth, though.
Yes, we are both big fans of this guy. It really opens up opportunities for you to have some pretty exciting turns later in the game. And those usually come with like Siege Commander or maybe like Warchief into Matron into something else. So Skirk Prospector, maybe kind of innocent looking, but really quite a good card.
You know, if you can't get a Lackey, you might as well have to take a Lotus Petal, right?
Yeah.
And it does so much more, too.
All right, we got a comment from Bobby says, poor mountain choice. And we know Bob is very persistent on the Goblin Mountain. From Mirage. He is very dead set on having the Goblin Mountain. So
there's some other choices I can respect. But
I like the unlimited. I don't know. I like it.
If you're gonna pick an unlimited one, it's probably that one, right?
I like all the mountains arts of the original, the ABU. I think they all look good. I don't think you can go wrong.
Goblin Mountain. That one ready to go.
Yeah, I do know that my card viewer can bring up that one. So, all right. Well, Piledriver joins the fray, which it can't go through the Wall of Blossoms yet, but if a Warchief came down, then it would be
just
swinging it for 5. So.
I telegraph your deck, but when I play Mono Red, I also play Goblin.
Right, we do see Cabal Therapy, and it was naming a Warchief, so he hits out there and shows a Piledriver, an Incinerator, and a Ringleader. So without that Warchief, and if no mana comes, then I guess another Piledriver coming down actually could be pretty good. But that Ringleader, that is kind of like an important card because the Rock tends to go 1-for-1, other than like a card like Pernicious Steed, and Ringleader on average probably draws like 3 cards.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna see a flashback therapy on that Ringleader.
I mean, you want to do it as late as possible because like you want to block that Piledriver if you can.
Yeah, I'm not sure well, but if Jon draws a land thanks to
It's Skirk Prospector.
the Skirk Prospector, he can, get it done. All right, swings in.
Block the Piledriver.
Gonna get a point
Suck
on
up.
Peter.
Yep. I'll go check the. Doesn't seem that they're updating the life total. I'll be right back.
Peter's gonna untap. Play the Duke Kid on the block, Phyrexian Rager. And isn't it awesome that we still have like new cards hitting archetypes like this? This is just super great. Seeing a card like Rager find his time to shine in the rock. A very important block here. Trades the Piledriver.
Is this a matchup where you're excited about Rager?
I think this is a matchup where you're excited about Rager.
I don't know if excited is the right word, but I mean I think it's serviceable. We do see Vendetta on a Piledriver.
I'm gonna wait it.
I guess you could just do it when they attack, and then you might be able to have your Rager trade for one of the other Piledrivers.
Yeah, because now he probably doesn't need another tap.
Right.
And you want that trade to happen.
I do think, I think you're pretty happy to trade Phyrexian Rager for Goblin Piledriver.
This is a fantastic matchup for Call the Herd.
I disagree. I don't think Call of Herd's really something.
I don't think Call the Herd belongs to Rock.
But
I'm such a weirdo. I'll play Mesmeric Feed in Rock, but I won't play Call the Herd. You know what I saw somebody play in a Rock deck recently that I thought was really exciting? Histrodon.
Histrodon. I've seen that. Yeah, a couple copies of that card. And
That's sweet.
yeah, I can see that pulling its weight.
Sack for 4 life.
Yeah.
All right, Jon swings in. His Piledriver is blocked by the wall, and he finishes the wall off with a Mogg Fanatic, clearing the way for future beats.
Peter only has 1 green mana, which could limit him on some of the cards that he can cast. He's going to cycle a Baron more, and it might just be for that reason that he's trying to find
He has a Treetop.
Treetop Village. Okay.
He's got these duresses in his hand that aren't going to do anything.
I think one's a Diabolic Edict and one's a Swamp, but there is a Duress. Okay.
I think he has a Naturalize.
Naturalize.
So he has like 2 dead cards in the matchup.
He's got some cards that aren't at its best. Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh, that's Robin, Kevin Castrini.
Yeah.
Castorino.
That's Robin
Okay.
Lund. Yep.
Hey, Robin.
Another Piledriver joining the fray, which, when your opponent has an empty board, is a nice one to have.
A little scary.
You're gonna Diabolic
Here's a
Edict here.
Diabolic Edict.
I think the Skirk Prospector might have to go here.
Okay. We love the Prospector, but not when you got 2 Piledrivers. Peter is in a decent spot here, though. I like where he's at.
Would you trade a Treetop Village for a Piledriver? I think you kind of have to in this spot.
I would.
I think I saw
Maybe
a Bailoff, though.
if he has a Bailoff.
That would be a slam dunk.
That would be slammed into play.
Jon still has a Gempalm Incinerator, right, in his hand that Peter knows about. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so. Robin, did you like how I figured out it was you just by you explaining your position in the monthly?
Yeah, so
My only.
I mean, Peter's got to the point where we're at a standstill, but I mean, like, Jon just needs another land, and then he can play that Ringleader that he's had. So his hand is Ringleader and Incinerator, right? Or did
No, he therapied the
Therapy?
Ringleader.
Okay, all right. So that's been taken
If you're
care of.
Peter, do you consider just like if a turn goes by where you can't do anything, you can just start putting walls on top of his deck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially because the wall replaces itself, so the Volra Stronghold might come into play.
That deck was just unreadable, Robin. So just sit down. He maybe should have upkeeped it. Oh, he is. I think he's.
All right, he's gonna put the
do
wall
it.
back on top. So, Wall Blossoms. He'll draw that. He'll play it. He'll draw a new card. I mean,
Do you think he would have been better off putting the Rager on top? Because that trades for a. But he knows his opponent. He knows that they have the
Incinerator,
Incinerator,
and
I think.
and 2 versus 3
Yeah,
mana could be a
that's
difference
smart.
too.
Smart play, Peter.
Yeah, but the rest of his hand is not super exciting. I think it's a Therapy, a Duress, a Naturalize, and a Swarm. I mean, you could attack here and you still have the Incinerator. So,
You hardcast the Incinerator?
oh well. The only problem is there's the Treetop Village can't be activated, right? Oh, it can. There is an untapped
It
forest. Right, so maybe not.
He knows he has the Incinerator. He has a Therapy in his hand.
That's true.
Maybe he used it. It's good etiquette to leave him up. That's what I feel.
I like holding my cards, so but I guess John has them face down on the table. So, well, we'll see now. The big nose Gempalm Incinerator. Got to get that one on there. All right, so what did? Oh, so he named and saw Warchief and Incinerator. Nothing was taken.
Really?
Trying to think what he was. Maybe he's naming like Siege Gang Commander, but I don't know. Like,
Just he's therapying for the card that beats him.
yeah,
I can get behind it. I don't hate that.
I
If he doesn't think he's losing to Incinerator, don't name the Incinerator. If you think you're gonna lose, if they have,
yeah.
if you think you're gonna
Maybe,
lose
but-
because they have a Siege Gang in their hand, name Siege Gang. It's
I can understand
it's
that.
a take. I don't really disagree with that.
Question is, would you be willing just to use a duress just to look at their hand? I think I might in that situation. I don't think duress is ever going to get any better.
That's true. You might to get the free look. Well, he wants to activate his. He wants to activate the stronghold, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. The Rager comes into play.
And all John has untapped is the forest, so he's safe from the Gempalm right now.
So
He can actually just flash back and kill the Gempalm, which
he
I don't hate.
the one thing is he tapped the stronghold to cast it. I guess that must mean he's like planning on using all his mana this turn, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think you could probably leave up a colorless. All right, Cabal Therapy names the Gempalm Incinerator, and then John chose a Naturalize. So some of the dead cards have been shown. I guess a Naturalize at least could
The
target.
dead card count is 2-1.
Yeah, could at least target a Pernicious Steed, but it probably won't be very effective.
If it ever is effective, he can therapy it.
Yeah.
A Dust Bolt here.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Peter, I feel like he has a ton of mana.
Yeah.
Yeah. sacrifice the swamp and
Or at least, you know.
I guess I mean it is nice to have Volra Stronghold and have a bunch of mana in play. So yeah, I guess the duress does take out the Naturalize.
I wonder why he played it there.
Yes, indeed.
I don't think so. He's guessing Bailoffs.
All right. Well, I mean, duress is not going to hit anything else in John's deck, so might as well do
Yeah.
it now. We got Lester hanging out behind us. He's you drew, right? So you're hoping that your tiebreakers hold or things go well, that you drew into the top 8. So we'll
Sam,
keep.
I think Sam just evens up against Aaron Dix.
Okay.
All right, he just got Siege Gang off the top. Yeah, that's going to change things a little bit.
Yes,
Goblin deck back in the game.
and unfortunately for John, I guess it's not, there's a Bailoff and a Rager. I was gonna say like, if he had one more mana, he'd be able to fling a Goblin, but
Let's look at the hindsight misplay here, though. Had he just kept the Skirk Prospector instead of the Goblin Piledriver, he'd be in pretty good position here against his 10-life opponent.
I mean, he's in a pretty good position anyways. But yes,
the Piledriver has not gotten in for any damage since that point.
this is like a situation where like turns like that where you spend a lot of mana and then have a Skirk Prospector in play. Your options are just they're much wider when you have that mana available.
Peter at 10. So he's but effectively at 14. He has
That's the Ravenous Bailoff, yeah. So John's trying to figure out if there is a sensible attack.
I don't think I kind of don't think there is.
I mean, you could attack with the tokens and the pile drivers,
Yeah, the worst they do is trade with Bailoffs and such.
or they just go to like to the face. We have a matron. Oh man, think if you had a sharpshooter and a Skirk Prospector in play.
I mean,
Sharpshooter dead.
no, there's a sharpshooter in his deck.
Yeah,
I think a sharpshooter, he has to get sharpshooter. Right? Like,
well, you could make an argument just for something like Ringleader, but the sharpshooter you're passing
maybe
the turn.
Ringleader.
Gempalm Incinerator.
Are you passing the turn? You get to swing.
I can't see the card.
Oh, the drama! A true showman puts his card directly into the glare of the playing area.
We'll see it in a moment, or we won't, and we'll just have to all the suspense.
Sharpshooter is just absurd here, right?
Yeah, you give them like one turn where I think they have the ability to answer, but like if you get to untap and have open mana with Siege Gang and Sharpshooter, you really can do a number.
He does not have Pyromancer.
It is
Sorry.
Sharpshooter.
Pyromancer would be the end of this game right here.
He's attacking.
Oh,
He shot him?
Yep. So man, they found the attack all button.
What's it?
He found the attack all button.
yeah. Well, I don't. What is? Wait. What did he target?
What did he target?
Dust Bowl was used. Why is the Sharpshooter tap? I didn't see the life total go down. I'm gonna go check.
What just happened? I don't understand.
Sometimes you get the sharpshooter play, you get so excited you just tap it.
Okay, he shot him for 1.
Yep.
It's deed.
deed find.
Yeah, so it did get used right away. I guess I don't know what the advantage of using it immediately is. But basically, he untapped with mana and had enough to kill. Is that what happened?
No, he played a deed and just killed everything.
Oh. Sorry, I was running over
Oh, yeah. No, but I don't know.
I don't know how to pick him.
Wait, what happened there? Because the game wasn't over, was it?
This is D would have killed all his stuff.
You want to go check? We got Lester running.
I mean, it would have left him with a bailout to play and nothing for John. It's a great position for Peter, but it doesn't seem like a scoopable one. Like, if John untaps and draws a CJ commander, it's right back in it, right?
I agree. I mean, there is a Morash stronghold, so like it's a little bit awkward. Like, it has to be like immediately, but still, yeah. I think Peter's up to date with the deed.
So too, but weird.
Yeah, for some reason, Goblin scooped to the deed.
Well,
Okay.
hey, he was in a really bad spot, but yeah, maybe we'll
might
play a
have-
few more turns.
Just
Maybe he
play
didn't
and get
realize,
upset with himself. I don't know.
maybe he didn't realize that all the rock supplies were dying too.
All right, so now typically these sideboard games, the rock usually does get some edges. Do we have deck lists for both?
I don't have the rock
Alright.
list
That's
here.
probably
I did see he at least 3 engineered planes.
All right, that's typically the card that like really comes into play. And one of the things that Goblins does in anticipation of engineered plague is often having like Goblin King, but the rock does a pretty good job of being able to remove a creature. So you could kind of put all your eggs in a basket of like a Goblin King, and then if that dies, then the house of cards falls down.
Yeah, his board is a king, 2 Hellbreach, 3 Lightning Bolt, 2 Naturalize, 3 Pyroblast, 2 Tormod, Crypt, 2 Tranquil Domain. So the king's definitely coming in. I don't know if much else is though. Maybe the bolts if he has like. He takes the. I kind of like bolt in his board just because if he has these naturalizes, they don't do anything.
Sure.
But the naturalize does become better now because
Yes.
the opponent has entered plague.
Anticipating the engineered plague. Well, I would imagine that Peter's taking out a card like Naturalize himself and bringing in Engineered Plagues. There might be a few more spot removal spells. I think we saw a Smother and a Diabolic Edict. I don't know, like, Diabolic Edict is a little bit awkward because there are certain times where it just doesn't do what you want. It doesn't do what you want. Yeah, it sounded weird. And, yeah, but in general, I think the Rock is going to gain a lot more from sideboarding than the Goblins deck in this matchup.
Right. Goblins are goblins, you know? They can always do it. Yeah, I think, if I remember, I don't know if there was Freddy, but I remember the Lanny list, they have even more one-mana removal spells as well, which are really key, because a good way to lose this matchup is to let a Lackey get away from you.
Yep.
And they don't have a lot of blockers.
We talked about it at the beginning, and yeah, but Goblin Lackey kind of slipped off our minds. But yeah, here now comes to play with the Goblin deck on the play. You look at your opening hand, and it could be a decent hand as the Rock player, but you got to answer the question of like, what happens if he plays a turn on Lackey? And sometimes you have to risk it and just say like, I'm going to be at a big disadvantage if they have it. But other times you might just be staring down a CJ commander on turn 2. So there.
Sure. John is mulliganing.
John's just gotta keep mulliganing until he gets Turbo back.
Look at the lands.
Sam officially gamed it up, so him and Aaron are going to game 3.
Okay, so yep, one of our win-ins is Sam Black against Aaron Dix. So Sam on the blue parfait list, while Aaron is on his trusty Sly list, and they're going to 3. I think in general, the traditional parfait has got to be better against Sly than the blue one, because there's not the ivory towers. And
I don't think so.
you don't
You
think
still
so?
have Ivory Tower.
Oh, is there ivory tower in the blue one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
find
Same with Hydro.
I think the blue version's probably better.
All right.
Like you have counter spells
Small
too,
counter spells. Yeah.
and I don't know. I've generally found that it's not a very close matchup
Okay.
for the blue-white version. Sam did lose the first game. Then again, I mean, Aaron might have flaring pain, and that could change things a lot.
Does. Should. He's also playing Bible, so we have to root against him.
For that.
Yeah. Sam does have the advantage that Aaron doesn't have great information about what his opening hand is.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, so it looks like Peter is putting a card back. I see a Corrosion Tusker. I didn't see the card he pushed to the bottom. And with John, he's just going to start with a mountain and a pass. And then Peter has a Lanor Wastes. Is that any? I mean, like,
there's a wasteland.
I would say, like, there's Goblins is often a Wasteland deck. If you're leading with an untapped non-basic, does that indicate something? I mean, he might have.
I think definitely does. I would be hard pressed not to wasteland the third one ladder away, I suppose.
Yeah, Wasteland, no, just play.
Yeah, just it coming out like untapped. Like if it were a tapped land, then. But I feel like you lead with any basic over non-basic. I mean, I guess if you wanted to make black mana and that's your only source, which we do see, he's going to take 2 points of damage, one for the casting and then one for the resolution of Vendetta. So why is Peter at? Is it toughness? I always get this wrong. Toughness or power?
It's power.
It's toughness. So it takes 3 damage.
It's toughness.
Alright, we see a Cabal Therapy that takes away a Goblin Warchief that hits. We do see a Bolt, and then I think it is a Wasteland and then the Goblin Sharpshooter. So I think John might have kept the Wasteland because he really wanted that 3rd mana. But now, with Peter not having any mana, that Wasteland's pretty ideal. And now we have a Baron Moor. And Sharpshooter, I guess it's like not the scariest thing from this position. I guess that might be like the least impactful card in this board state, but well, I guess Peter's still drawing land, so he's still got a chance. Diabolic Edict will take care of that.
There's a Warchief off the top.
Oh, he had that in his hand.
I thought he got therapy for it.
Oh, he did. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
He did have it.
Yeah, he did it. That's just a thing.
You were both right.
I agree, but
All right, engineered play here, but the Warchief will still play. So Goblins are a little bit smaller, but
it's one thing about engineer play is isn't like a lot of the Goblins live through it, which is
I like that Peter sounds when he named. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
yeah. I mean, suss that one out. So
I like the Thurnus, right?
He's Wasteland. Oh, man. All right.
Get
I
it.
had to choose Goblin or Warrior, you know.
All right, there's a smother on the Warchief.
So Ringleader just bust this game open, right?
Kind of. I mean, like, John doesn't necessarily have a 4th mana right away, and well, we'll see what he gets here. I think I might be inclined to get Ringleader, but there is a Cabal Therapy in the graveyard, so if there's like a small creature, just getting a Warchief. Oh yeah, the Matron does go to the graveyard right away, so it is just like Demonic Tutor. It's like so.
It's almost like Diabolic Intent, really.
Yeah, I don't need. I think you're fine with a Warchief, right? Like, it's not that scary. I mean,
I would have got a
I get.
Ringleader
Well,
there.
I see a Spike Feeder, and is it a Recurring Nightmare and a Corrosion Tusker? So if Peter has time,
This game would have been so different if he would have wasted it. I guess he doesn't know he's stuck on one Lanor waste, but
what did Peter do on the? He just
he
passed the turn.
therapied him the next turn.
Oh,
He vendetted turn 1 and then he
okay.
untapped in therapy.
Okay.
You would have got to play
No.
neither of those
Oh,
until
yeah,
like
you're
turn
right.
4.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So Corrosion Tusker starting to do its thing. Are we going to see a Corrosion Tusker in play?
No, he's
I
like,
think there's a Recurring Nightmare. There's a chance.
he does have one in his hand.
Yeah.
Like feeder in hand.
Yeah, I like Peter's position. I feel like he's kind of out of the woods here, and things are going to go well now. Take a damage to play a Spike Peter.
I don't count out Gallows.
No, I mean, it's not like Jon is done.
One Ringleader usually opens the game.
He has a lightning bolt for the Spike Feeder. Right?
I don't think I would use it. Like,
I
oh,
don't
he
know
does.
either.
All right, you're gaining 4. Warchief gets in. I mean, I think Peter would rather have had that Spike Fear to play. He could have gained 2 and then Recurring Nightmare.
Why didn't Jon just get the king? I think, like, against the... Oh, he's just going to skip the second play.
Second Engineer play.
He must not have brought Naturalize.
Well, he had some in the main deck. He might have just been worried that they get stuck in his hand, and they... I mean, you have to anticipate duress coming out, but yep, 2 Engineered Plagues is enough for Jon, and Peter with the Rock deck will clean things up as he cleans his token, his Infinity token.
Moving on to the top 8 for Peter.
Yeah, so Rock in the discount bin, doing well, but
Yeah.
BK complains about it and then just doesn't pick it.
Doesn't pick it.
But I think I had Goblins, so another Goblins player has fallen.
Yeah, we got that going for us.
I don't know if there are other lists. Do we also? Well, so Lester drew, so he's looking to get drawn to the top 8. He's on the blue-white side.
Sam beat Aaron.
Sam just defeated Aaron, so Sam on the blue
There's
parfait.
parfait.
He's X11.
Okay. Aaron was 3 and 2, so I think 3 and 1, so he does 3 and 2. I don't know if any X and 2s will make it. There's been some weird things I think from the standings. There have been some draws and then some people who had to leave. So there we could see some interesting scores get into the top 8. But yeah,
You guys want to find another match or no?
yeah. Let's see if anyone's sideboarding.
So
I'll be right back.
Yeah. I think we got our top 8 though. Did we take a break there? I don't know if we're alive or not. Can you hear me still, Jet? Let's see if we get another match here. Yeah, so our top 8 is going to be the following, as far as I can tell. I'm going to go Rich Hagen here and tell you what the top 8 is, because we got all the math in. We got Ricky Thorson. He's probably going to be our top seed. He was 4-0 going into this round, playing Blue-Red Tinker. Then we have Artie.
Korea, I think it is.
Yeah, he's
on the
changed his last name to emojis. He's playing Grow Talk. Michael Horn, I think, might also be playing.
Do you know what your opponent was that you drew with? No.
I
Lester.
Michael Horn.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
Lester Smerling playing Blue-White Snot.
It's not.
Lucas Carlson's the top 8. He's playing Dead Guy.
Okay, I think that was in the bargain bin. Did you take that?
You know, I almost did,
Oh.
and I think I changed to Stompy at the last second.
All right. I took Stompy too, so I can't really complain.
Brandon Adams is playing Devourer. He's in the top 8. And then Peter McGrain on Rock, and then Sam Black getting to the top 8 with his blue Tex Rack deck.
Adam Ducon, his opponent, going game 3. I think they're both live, aren't they?
Nope,
No?
No, they're not.
they're doomed.
Because they're both on blue white now.
Only one Snot in the top 8 that we know of, but we don't know what Michael Horn's playing.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break as we get things situated for our top 8. We have a few rounds to finish, but we will be back for our top 8 announcement, and we will continue with our Misty Mountain Spring Cup. And we will see you for the top 8, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Bye.